Exiba Fetu, welcome to Producer's Corner. So in today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to make a beat like DJ Lag and KC Driller. Pretty sure that you guys know the hit makers of WaWawa. That song has been doing waves for such a long time. So what I wanted to do was to try making a beat in that form, right? In that style, basically, Saga DJ Lag, and that's what we'll be doing in today's video. But before we start, for those who are interested, I do offer some ghost production services. So if you need to buy a beat from me, or if you need mixing and mastering on your song, I'm your guy for that, and the contact details are in the description. With that being said, let's start with the video. Let's start by previewing all the sounds, and I'll explain how everything came together as I go. And the project is actually from 2025. I was supposed to record a video for the channel, but I delayed making the video to the point where I forgot about the whole entire project. And then now I just discovered it through cleaning up my files and all that. So I just went back to it, added a few stuff, and then I removed a few stuff, and then just to make it sound fresh again. So that's what we have over here. So what I did first was to take a hip-hop kick. This kick is from a hip-hop sample pack because it doesn't sound like your typical Gqom kick, and this is how it sounds. Then what I did was to add a second kick to the drums, and this kick is much more softer because the first one is actually much more punchy than this one over here. This one is much more softer. Now the choice of kicks is very important when it comes to these types of beats. The reason being they are centered around using 808s, right? You're gonna hear a lot of 808s in the final beat. So the kicks need to be a bit more softer. You get what I mean? Not soft in the sense that they should be like amapiano soft, but they should be softer. You know, they shouldn't hit hard. They shouldn't have a lot of low end. Basically, they should have just enough punch for you to hear them, but not enough for it to disturb the 808. And then I have your typical string over here, and this is how it sounds. So as you can hear, the note of the string is very, very low because we wanted to have a bit of a dark atmosphere. You know what I mean? And then we needed something in the background. Is our lala is like a root note or something. So next, of course, is just adding a bunch of sounds to complete everything. So what I did was something that I always do when I create drum patterns for Gqom, which is to start with some chants, some vocals and all that. You get what I mean? If you're a Gqom producer, you know what I'm talking about. There's no need for me to explain. So I have some vox and all that over here. I'm just going to play them out for you guys so that you guys can hear how they sound. I'm just going to enable them. And then maybe I'll miss a few, but you guys will get the idea. I'm using a big screen, so now I can't see properly in between these spots over here. So as you can hear, these sort of give this whole entire drum pattern a bit of movement. You get what I mean? That bounce. This is one of the sounds that you can't really forget because they really add that Gqom spice to your drum patterns, and this is how it sounds. And then, like I said, there's no formula in terms of, you know, creating these types of drums, but I just added a few claps, a few sounds here and there, percussions, snares and all that. I'm not sure if I have a snare. Now just make sure that your sounds are not clashing with each other, so they're actually complementing each other in the whole entire drum pattern that you have. So as you can hear, the kick just changed over here, and then from here it's just a bunch of Gqom sounds that I took around my library, and then I just compiled them into this one giant drum pattern, and then we have a clap over here, a clap, and what is this? Okay, and then this is a shaker, and then I added another kick over here just for bounce, really. It's not for anything specific. And then what else? This is just a ride over here, so let's just remove it. So you of course need a sound that's gonna drive your drum pattern, basically that's gonna propel your drum pattern forward, which over here I have a tom over here, that basically sort of drives the whole entire pattern, because without the toms, this is how it sounds. Now with the tom, this is how it sounds. So it's just propelling the whole entire drum pattern forward. And then next we have a clap, and this is how the clap sounds. Now this is for when everything is coming together. You're just going to hear that clap as soon as everything is just coming together. And then next you need a lot of cymbals. By cymbals I mean rides, hats, open hats and all that, because that's what adds that bit of sprinkle on top of your drum pattern, you know, that high-end sprinkle on your drum pattern, and then that's when you know you're finished. And this is how everything sounds. So as you can hear, they sort of serve as like a sprinkle on top of everything that you already have. And then next, it's not a Gqom song, because that's how I take this genre of DJ lag. I think it's Gqom mixed with tech, mixed with EDM. I don't really know. I didn't do my research on this specific genre, right? But it wouldn't be a Gqom beat without the raw hit, and this is how it sounds. So already with just La Raw hit, it's just complete at this point. I could just export the song the way it is, but of course we needed to add more stuff to the song. What I did was to add just some chords over here that serve as like a riser for the track, and you'll usually hear this a lot on these newer Gqom songs. That's why I decided to add that on this song specifically, just to give it that Gqom feel. But I'm not sure if DJ Leg and KC Triller uses something like this, but this is how it sounds. Okay, and then next we have a bunch of sounds that I added randomly. I didn't have a formula to add these sounds, so I took the sound from GMS. It's a pretty popular sound. It's a popular sound and it is from GMS. The name of the sound is Ghost TE. And then I added an effects or something, not sure what that is, but this is how it sounds. And then I added, I believe this is a gate sound, gated pad, whatever. This is how it sounds. Pretty sure you guys know what a gated sound is. Actually, it's not a gated sound from Nexus. I did the gate myself, I believe, because I'm looking at the mixer right now. I'm just realizing that there's a crossbeat that I added, and that's probably for the gate or something. But yeah, it's from Loops, tuned on Hive, whatever, and this is the actual sound. And Not sure why I added the cross beat. Let me check. Yeah, as you guys can see, I just took the sound and then I added a cross beat on top of the sound so that it sounds gated. You know what I mean? And then I have a sound from GMS. It's not from GMS. It's not from GMS. It's the sound from Toxic Biohazard, and it's called Industrial Hazard. And I am showing you guys these sounds on my TikTok, so if you aren't following me on TikTok, what are you waiting for? But yeah, anyways, it's the Toxic Hazard, and then this is how everything sounds together. Then let's just play the drums so that you guys can get the idea. Now, something that I've realized about these beats is that they don't have any melodics really, right? You won't hear any keys or pianos playing in the background. They just keep it technical, yeah, Afro tech and all that. So what I had here was, I believe it's an arpeggiator that was playing, and then of course I added some automation just to cut off those high ends and then build up the whole entire thing as the track goes. And this is how it sounds. So as you guys can hear, it just builds up like that. And then I have a sound over here, and it's not called the FX whatever, but it's actually a sound from Hive, or sorry, not Hive, Hammer or Harmless. Basically it's the lead hoover. It's a pretty popular sound. I decided to add it on the whole entire beat just to elevate it a bit and give it that Gqom sound, you get what I mean? And this is how it sounds. And then of course everything together then sounds like this. Right, so those are your synths, your keys, whatever you want to call them, your chords as well. And then we're moving on to the basses. I'm going to show you guys what I have on the basses. I'm not sure what this is. Yeah, it's just a sound from GMS called, what is it called? The bass is heavy, I believe, from GMS. Yeah, and then what else do we want to preview? Yeah, there's nothing else. And then we have your basses. What I decided to add was a log drum over here. I believe this is a log drum, and this is how it sounds. That's all basically, and it sort of serves as like a riser of some sort paired with this riser over here. Then of course it's just your crashes and all that. So this is how it sounds. So it's like a nice build up. And then what I have first, oh yeah, let's start with this one. This one is actually a pluck from Fruity DX10, and this is how it sounds. Now with these basses, what I did was just to duplicate, as you can see, 808 punched number 3. The reason is I was duplicating, copying and pasting the same basses or the same bass patterns, and then what I did was just, you know, place them in different sections of the song. And what I did was obviously add just a few changes here and there so that they sound somewhat unique. And then we have here, I believe, an 808, and this is how it sounds. Now that's the first part of the 808, and then there's another 808 that goes in over here, and then this is the main section of the song. And then I had another 808 playing over here just to start off things, so it just goes crazy, and then just go into the main part. It's very simple, but paired with the whole entire song, it's just goes crazy basically. So this is how it sounds. And then I did something unique over here with the 808. I just changed to the 808, and then of course I added this new pattern over here, and I just, as you can see, I cut everything, just these bits over here, just to create something unique, and this is how it sounds. And then I'm not sure what this is, but I'm thinking it's an 808. Yeah, it's an 808. So basically it's a turn, like this type of genre is turn up. Basically you're just turning up 808s, going crazy, you know, especially mixed with a genre such as Gqom. You get what I mean? It's already Gqom is already a turn up genre, and then add these 808s, yeah, the song is just gonna go crazy. Now that's basically everything that I have, and then I just have the siren, police siren. It's a police siren that I added over here just to set an atmosphere for the whole entire song, right? And then I have different patterns of the 808s over here, and this is how they sound. Right, so as you can hear, the sirens are just adding this dark atmosphere as if something is wrong. Get what I mean? So you just know that it's time to turn up. Yeah, well, so that's the whole entire vibe, and also DJ Lag uses it a lot, so that's why I decided to add the siren. Yeah, anyways, that's basically what happens throughout the creation of a lot of these songs. Nothing is really intentional at times. You just add something and then it just works. So pardon me for not being able to explain a few things, but that's the whole entire way to create these types of beats. And then of course you create an intro. You have an intro over here, and with the intro I have a bass that's like playing clean, and then next I have this section over here that I added some slides on the bass, and then that's basically all. You know, you're just building it up to a certain section, and then you just turn up. Yeah, well, so there's no hard explanation to that. Let's just play the song, and then you guys will be the judge of, did I nail this style of beats or should I try again?